Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 621 of the Mike from Maine Show, the place where we do daily interviews with successful online entrepreneurs. This is your host, Mike Thomas, and today on the show we have Steve Benn on, and we're going to be talking about how you can take advantage of the Google update that just came out that affects mobile websites and make a full-time business out of it. There's been a guy, and we're going to talk about this in the interview, that has actually turned this into a $4,000 a month business, going out there and reaching out to these businesses to make their websites mobile friendly. Well, to be able to do that, you need to be able to find the businesses, reach out to them, and then fix it for them. And the software we're going to talk about does all of that in one. Let's get into it. Here's Steve. We are here today with Steve Benn. Steve, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Very nice having you here today. Steve, I want to know your story. We're going to be talking about Mobilegeddon and why it's such a big deal. But before we jump into that, I know you are a successful software creator. So tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Sure, Mike. This is going to be a little bit of a strange story. Whenever anybody asks, I always tell them this. So going back to sort of 2005, I was a video editor. I was really sort of struggling with a lot of sort of technical needs that I had. The software wasn't really good, but I couldn't program. So I got in touch, put out some adverts for programmers, and actually got this video editing software developed, started a business, actually had programmers in an office and everything. And then it hit me. I couldn't actually market. I knew nothing about marketing at all. So whilst the programmers were busy making the software, doing updates, getting demo versions out, and all of this stuff, I needed to figure out how to market and how to sell. And I discovered the Warrior Forum and also Frank Kern. And I started, whilst I was going over to sort of video events, I also went to things like John Reese's events for marketing. I think it was in Las Vegas, the one I went to. And so I started learning how to sell stuff and did that probably for a couple of years. And I had quite a bit of downtime some days where I'd be literally waiting for the programs to do an update. So I'd be writing on the Warrior Forum. And I even started my own blog just because, you know, just to kind of fill in the time, get used to blogging, test out some marketing techniques. And before I knew it, I had like the 6th most popular personal development blog at that time. I got a bunch of awards. And I thought, wow, didn't expect this. So I put together this little report and just put it on the Warrior Forum. I think I sold it for like $17 and I sold thousands of copies. I was just blown away by it. So it sort of about 6 months after that, I actually sold the video business, got an offer from a video company, and I thought, well, what am I going to do now? And I was in this shared office with a number of other businesses, and I was about, you know, getting ready kind of to move out and figure out what I was going to do. I was having a long commute every day to the office because it wasn't in the city where I lived, but I was getting people continually asking me for advice. Oh, we've seen what you did with the video software. We've seen how you built a list and gave away a free gift. And so I thought, okay, I'll do this. I kept doing it again and again. And then I thought, I've got to start charging for this. And before I knew it, I'd built this basically local business consultant service. Kept doing this for a little bit, produced a few more reports on what I was doing. I think they were Warrior Forum special offers. And started selling SEO and web design. And basically teamed up with a guy who was in the office next to me. He did the actual web design. I did the selling. Then we offered SEO services. And that went great for years and years. But of course, as we all know, things changed with SEO. Lots of really low-priced vendors came in. So we started moving away from that. And right now, I just do the sort of the high-level consulting for local businesses, as well as software development for tools for people who market online.
Cool. It's kind of funny how you went from that position of creating something and not knowing how to sell it, and now you've learned that over time now, and you've become a better marketer. And I'm sure being a better marketer, now you're able to create stuff that you know people are in need of and are actually going to buy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of the tools I've released are things often that I have been developing for years for myself to make it easier for me, to make it easier for my clients. And then, you know, I'll be showing somebody maybe like yourself and they'll go, you know, that's a really cool tool. Maybe we should release this. Now, that's exactly what happened in reverse with Cloud Prospect Machine, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. because I was saying to a guy who does an awful lot of SEO stuff, Todd Spears, I really miss the fact that I had to let the SEO side of the business go. But with all of these people cold calling, spam emailing, it was getting hard to get clients. And they were saying, well, I can get this for $50. I'm not going to pay you £300 a month to do this. And of course, then they get it done. Comes back, the work's awful, as you know. It doesn't do the job 9 out of 10 times. And they get burned out. But you kind of get a little bit of that hostility, even though you didn't do the bad work. They business owners out there, online and offline, become a little bit mistrustful. It's like, oh, you're one of those guys who sells awful SEO techniques, or you do really shoddy web design.
It's almost like with that type of stuff, people were approaching businesses saying things like, oh, I'll get you to first page of Google for whatever term you want. And it sounds great, but in reality, they don't know what term you're trying to rank for. They don't know. Like, there's no way you can approach someone and say, I can guarantee you page 1 rankings for the term that you're going for. What I like about what we're going to be talking about today is that using the software Cloud Prospect Machine, you're going to actually be able to help people, truly help people, and make money at the same time, and help them with something that is results driven, that you can show them immediately, that is not something, oh, maybe in a year from now, 6 months from now, you're going to be on page 1 of Google. You can say, look, you are now fixed, and now we can start looking at other parts of your business as well. Before we jump into that, there's an algorithm update to make it simple. There's something Google changed, and they've made it so that businesses that were sitting pretty, were fine, are now going to be in a situation where maybe they're going to lose rankings, or other businesses that maybe have an opportunity to gain rankings. This is called Mobilegeddon. What is it, and why is it such a big deal?
Okay, so Google have been warning for a while that mobile, so we're talking about cell phones, we're talking about tablets, I guess, as well, we're going to become a lot more important in terms of rankings. And in all honesty, I think a lot of regular business owners ignored it. And I think the reason for this was we've all been shouting from the rooftops, because we've been excited as well about things like social, about advertising on Facebook, about retargeting, about Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and even Instagram. I mean, I've got some clients who absolutely love Instagram, and it works for them. But whilst we've all been focused on that, Google kind of got a little bit boring. And so, oh, you know, there's going to be a change. There was a big change before. Let's not worry about this. And what actually happened was, if you actually paid attention, you knew this was coming, that Google said, if your site doesn't work well on a mobile device, so the fonts are too big, or it's just plain unreadable, or maybe that video is not going to look right or even play, all of that stuff, if it doesn't work well on a mobile device, we're going to really severely penalize you in the mobile rankings. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what do mobile rankings matter? But whilst we were focusing on all that social stuff, you know, mobile, particularly in places like the US, the UK, it's crept up to about 50% of traffic. And you think about it, how often are you on your phone, you've got your cell phone out, and you're checking something, it's like, oh, whoa, there's a coupon for this restaurant. I can go here. There's a special event on here. I can do this. Even online stuff, you know, it's like, oh, wow, there's a great special offer on this tracking software. And I just buy it on my cell phone now.
I'd say especially for local businesses there. Like, how many times are you out in your car, someone's driving, hopefully you're not the one driving on your phone. Someone's driving, you're in the passenger seat, you've got your phone out there, you're looking for a restaurant, you're looking for whatever it is you're trying to buy, and you're searching it in Google, and you're not going to go to page 2, page 3. You're going to pull up your phone, whatever sites come up first there. You're going to check out those sites, and those are going to be the ones that you visit. And that's where people are looking for these local businesses. I think for local businesses, this is huge.
Definitely. I mean, I've got an awful lot of clients who are sort of in my region and spread out through the UK. And I can tell you, the amount of queries I got about Mobilegeddon was really, really low. People weren't asking about it. They were still asking about how can I boost my results with, one guy was using Gmail ads. Like I say, I've talked about the Instagram one as well. Another guy was just setting up his online store, and he was using Facebook advertising to sell PDF magazines every month in a specialist area. Hardly anybody was focused on mobile gathering because they weren't really thinking about this, particularly as well people like restaurants. I don't know if you've noticed, but restaurants really like to focus on, can we get the review on TripAdvisor? Can we get the tweet? Can we get the share? And suddenly it's like 50% of their traffic is just going away. And I read this really scary statistic. You know, back in 2011, we had that big series of Google animal-related slaps.
I remember. I was affected by them.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons. Like, there was a huge opportunity then. I helped loads of people, and then all the cheap people came in, and everybody's reputation was just so bad by association. It became impossible to do that work. The prices fell, and I just moved on from it. But apparently 1 billion changed hands in terms of, I think it's turnover, because, you know, the people who fell down and then the people who rose up to take their place, that was basically $1 billion during that period was transferred from, you know, one set of business owners to another. And obviously you can never say with any certainty, but I'm thinking mobile's grown so much now, we're going to see a similar, if not bigger, result. A couple of years down the line, people will look back on this and say, wow, that wiped out a lot of businesses. You know, that really made other businesses struggle, because it's not just a case of you're not getting as much of a boost, you're actually dropping down from where you were, which for a lot of business owners is incredibly, incredibly painful. Nobody likes stuff to be taken away from them. I know I don't, if I lose traffic or I drop down. And if you're not mobile ready, this could really have quite a big impact.
Couple things. One thing you said there was people don't like things being taken away from them. Psychologically speaking, people are more afraid of losing what they have than they want to gain something more. So if they already have something and
yes,
they have it and they lose it, that's a nightmare for them. And you think about your standard of living, you get up to a certain place, and if you move down again, it's like, what am I going to do now? Another thing you said there was the fact that these businesses, like if you think of someone that's running a restaurant or a plumber or an electrician or whatever, they are not in Webmaster World Forum or Warrior Forum or searching online. Like I would be very surprised if even half of them, I would say 20%, 10%, I don't know the number, but I would be very surprised if most of them know that this has even happened, other than the fact that the ones that aren't mobile friendly have suddenly lost rankings. And they might have noticed because they're going to be having less traffic coming in. And if you're able to go out there and you're able to solve that issue for them, you're able to, well, first find them and then solve that issue for them, then you're going to be a true helper, a true resource for them, and there's going to be other business opportunities as well. On the sales page here for the product, it says cash in on the biggest Google shakeup since the Panda and Penguin debacle, which you mentioned, and grab yourself the top secret tool that turns any site into a mobile optimized site in minutes from just a paste of a link. And I know this is so much more than just that. So tell us what this is all about, and then we'll hop into a demo.
Yeah, I think actually you're probably seeing an early sort of test headline there, probably with split testing or something. But essentially, Cloud Profit Machine, okay, developed by a guy called Todd Spears. I was talking to him about all of the issues that I'd had, and he was like, oh, I've got a bunch of stuff that you could just use to figure out which of your clients have this mobile issue, and also any other businesses, and how you can actually then just contact them and just actually sell them this upgrade. And I've even got a piece of software that will automatically do it for you. I was like, oh, wow. You know, I kind of remember the days when it was a very easy sell for me to say, I'm going to sort out this slap issue for you. I'm going to get you ranking again. As I say, that all just kind of went just really bad. And I just moved away from it. And so kind of moving now forward, there's this, I think, a really ethical opportunity to help people out, charge a good price for what is a very honest piece of work. Of course, you're actually getting all automatically done by the software. So I'm just going to switch over to Cloud Profit Machine now, and then I can actually demonstrate some of this stuff. So just bear with me. And And Mike, if you can just tell me when that's actually showing up for people.
We've got you.
Cool. So basically what we are is we're in the command center here. I'll just move a little window across just so I can see everything. Okay. So basically what you're actually getting is a system that will find in a region and a niche any businesses that perhaps are vulnerable or already suffering from this slap. So we can set Google here, we can set the maximum number of URLs. So just to keep things sort of safe for speed, I'm just going to set this to 10 for now. And I'll just do a search for restaurants. It's one I've actually done before. Obviously, you could be doing much more specific stuff. You know, for instance, roofers, for instance, landscape gardeners, CPAs, accountants. Obviously, the list goes on and on. And so what it's going to do now is just actually queue this task up. And in the background now, it's actually processing that. Now, whilst that's processing, like I say, I can actually show you results I did a little bit earlier.
Sure.
So I'll just click here. And then what we've got is we've got a list of websites here. And what we can do is we can just literally sort them by the ones that are not mobile ready. Now, what's cool about this is it's using the Google API. So we're actually getting an actual answer from Google that's saying, yes, this is acceptable, no, this isn't. So there's no sort of guessing here or things being sort of fudged. We've got this score as well, so you can see relatively which are the best and the worst. So just kind of going down here, we've got a few sort of different dining sites. We've got some sort of generic ones, actual review sites as well. They haven't even got a website. But just to, let's have a look at this. Just have a look at this one here. And we can just basically preview this. And so this is the report that they're actually going to be sent in the email. So they get a mobile report. Here's what I like about this report, Mike. Okay, it's not something that's designed just to scare people, to put fear into them, and it's all negative. It will point out if there's good stuff as well. So it'll say, test passed, your page loads really well. So it's not about just trying to make somebody feel terrible.
I'm really surprised that this website, restaurants.com, that you would think they would have a ton of money and that they would be ready for something like this. I'm really surprised that in the eyes of Google now, they are not mobile friendly, and they are going to be seen as far as all the different things that Google looks at in giving them their ranking. This is going to be a strike against whether or not they're going to show this on a mobile device. And you can see there, it looks like crap on a mobile device there. No one wants to go in there and like, you get your thumbs and you're zooming in. Like, we've all had to do it.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it, when you have to do that? It drives me absolutely mad. And then you usually end up clicking on the wrong thing because the screen's too small. You end up going through to the wrong page. And I find it incredibly frustrating. What I like about this report is it really breaks down what's good and what's not. So you are essentially later in this process sending it through to the business owner. You're giving them something of value because, you know, they could go and do it themselves. I can assure you from a lot of experience that they want to focus on their business. And if that's making tacos, that's what they want to focus on. If it's plumbing, that's what they want to focus on. The vast majority of business owners do not want to mess with this. But you've reassured them by showing them here are the precise issues. Because the issue we had before was, oh, your website just does not work due to Panda or Penguin. I'm going to fix it. And then they end up with something awful.
Sorry to interrupt you, but a couple things. I'm excited here. I like this. A couple things here. One, you've got this here where it says Google's mobile test score not mobile ready. You're not saying, I don't think your website looks good. I don't think, in my opinion, it's not a subjective opinion here. This is it's true. It's Google doesn't like this. This comes from the actual Google tool there, and they're saying the almighty Google is saying that they don't like it. Also, I wanted to point out here, and you were talking about, when we were talking about like scrolling in with our thumbs and clicking on the wrong links here. Google, the reason why Google is so successful is because they are putting their user experience before everything else. They want to make it so that people, when they come to Google and they search, that they find what they're looking for, that when they click on something, that's like when they search for a certain term and that term comes to the top and people click on it, that's the one that they are actually looking for. And they monitor all that, like if people click on it, if they click out of it, how long they stay on the pages, all that stuff they're monitoring. And the reason why they've made this big change here is because that user experience is horrible when you're on that mobile device. So they're trying to make it so that people have the best experience so that they'll keep on using Google. They won't switch over to Yahoo on their mobile devices. They won't switch over to Bing. They're going to continue to use Google, and Google can continue to make money from their ad system. So this isn't some arbitrary little change that Google said, oh, let's just make this change and screw people's websites up with. They've actually done this for a reason. I just wanted to point that out. Continue on.
I think that's really important. Like I say, Mike, what I really like about this, it's not about just saying, the world's ending, your website's horrible, we're going to have to completely rebuild it. It's really saying, here are the specific issues that you have, and it's Google who's actually telling you this. We're just presenting it in a nice way. And I think having that kind of third-party verification there from Google themselves really reassures people. I know from my own experience with this software that the way this is presented really helps. Now, I probably shouldn't do this, but one of the things I was talking about with Todd, the developer, was it would be really cool if we could actually have a banner from your business at the top. So for me, just have like Steve Benn Consulting at the top, something like that. It's certainly not something that's going to be ready for launch, but it's something that Todd's actually adding. And I think then you'll have that combined authority of, this business has actually contacted me and sent me something useful. It's got the authority of Google. It's not the end of the world, but I can now understand why my traffic's dropped. It's a pity that my website isn't right, but I can easily resolve this and move on to other issues. Yeah. You always got to remember with businesses, they want to focus on actually doing their business, and this is a small part of their day. The easier you make it for them to solve it and move on, the more likely you are to get the sale. So I'll just jump back to the software here. So we've got all of these listed here, and what I can do is I can select the ones that obviously are not mobile ready. Now, just a quick tip for people who will be using this. I don't select every website that comes up. I mean, for instance, web crawler here is obviously one that, it's not mobile ready, but it's not really niche related. It's just picking up on something else. There are other businesses where you actually quickly check on them and you can see they've already gone out of business. So, avoid those. There might be some businesses you think it's not worth working with them. You can see that the website's so old, maybe it's just not going to be a deal that they'll go for. They're obviously not too focused. So pick the ones that look really good, click Generate Prospect Reports, and then all of those reports have been generated. And then we've actually got a list of websites here. This isn't actually, I don't think, the best list. I think I've had better ones before. But normally you get quite good quality email addresses. Obviously delete the ones that perhaps aren't going to be as much use. So the ones where it's quite obviously a domain registration email. And then you've got all the scores here. And then this is where it gets really good. You can create profiles for different businesses. So let's say for me, I do a lot of work with food retailers, people who, such as bakeries, people who produce small amounts of stuff that go into supermarkets and stores. I could create a particular profile for those type of businesses, or landscape gardeners, lawyers. You can get even more intelligent than that, and you can actually go lawyers London. So when people are using this system, here's what I recommend. Choose a region, preferably your own to start with, and choose a niche. So let's say you want to focus on joinery, carpentry, something like that, or electricians. Do that search first. So it could be New York electrician. And then once you've mailed out all of those people a very, very specific email, which we can do down here, and you can use all of this stuff so they get the report, they can see their mobile score. It looks very personal to them. So it's you've taken the time to actually pay attention. They're getting something of value. And then what you can do is, once you've done that, you can say, right, I'm working with electricians. Let's move on to the next region, maybe 20 or 30 miles away, the next big city. And that's the way I would personally recommend doing this. Of course, people can choose to do it any way they like. But this way, I think, you're not spamming people, and you can do it in an ethical way that really connects with the business owner by creating these profiles. And we're including 5 profiles straight from the off. So you've got a number of different email templates that you can use that really will seem relevant, rather than just a generic email saying, hi, we've noticed your website isn't ranking. Please contact us now or your business will, go under in 2 months.
The more specific you get with it, if you are targeting just contractors in a specific region or in a specific state, or whatever, and you can make it more tailored there. Like, look, we like, who would you rather work with? Someone that does this for businesses in general, or if you're a lawyer and someone says, like, I help out lawyers and I know what lawyers want and I've done this before for lawyers, this is my specialty. You want to work with someone that has that's their specialty. And you definitely want to, and I think that the search you had there earlier with just restaurants was maybe not the best kind of search, because I think you'd want to target it even more down there with names of different places and
Yes.
getting more and more specific with the type of search you do, so that you can get those results. And you're bringing back 10 results there, of course, when you're doing this. And you've got the time to wait for. You'd want to bring in more results there. But on the other page, I also saw you could add a video in there, and I want to be clear there on the power of what you were just showing on the other page.
Sure.
There
Actually, I'll go back. I just wanted to start a search here, which is how I personally do it. Is I like to put the niche keyword in there, and also the region. So, for instance, I put lawyer and New York there. That's going to give you obviously the really relevant, hyper-targeted results that you want. The one I gave was just kind of very, very sort of generic. That's processing in the background on the system. So I'll just go back into this slightly more generic one here, and then so I'll just order by mobile ready. Now, of course, what you could do is if you've got a whole load of results back, you can actually sort by mobile ready score and go for the ones with the lowest score first. So let's say you've done a mass search for 100 and you've left it running for 5 or 10 minutes. You come back and you think, oh wow, this is too many to contact. I don't want this to look really spammy. I want this still to be specific. Then sort it by mobile ready score. Go for the lowest ones first, because they're the ones who need the most help. So I'll just click on generate prospect report again. And like I say, we can trim out the incorrect emails. I mean, you see there, tyler@houstons.net is probably going to be a great email. DNS admin obviously isn't, so we'll remove those. So yeah, we've got this profile here where what you can do is you can link up with a system called Mandrill, which is a email system, allows you 12,000 emails a month, which is more than enough on their free tier. I've moved up to their paid tier. I think I'm sending out probably around 60,000 because I use it for a whole load of different stuff. I use it for sort of receipt emails, but I also use it for local business stuff. It's got great deliverability, which is what I really like about it. And like I say, you've got this 12,000 sort of free emails you can use a month. For the vast majority of people, even using the system, that's way more than they need.
Yeah, and if you do decide to upgrade to a paid version later on, it's if you get to that point, you're going to start having clients come in, and it's really cheap anyways. I've used Mandrill before. I mean, it's really cheap.
My bill was $11.
Yeah. So it's not like you're paying hundreds of dollars a month to use a service like that. So you can send these emails out to people.
Yes.
Go ahead and, like, as far as I'm looking at this right here, you put your business name in. You've got your logo, your last name, your phone number, that YouTube video. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Okay, so we've got this YouTube video, which obviously you can use as an intro, and what we're aiming to do is that's actually going to be on the top of the report. So you have your banner, and then at the moment, I think, I've not actually tested this out at the moment, but basically it will link it currently in the email and say, hey, watch this. So you can do a quick intro video, say, look, I realize that, in Sheffield at the moment, it's really, really hard to start a new restaurant business. And if you've already got an existing one, you could find that you've lost a lot of your traffic. The reason is mobile gathering. And obviously give them a little bit of a description. Now, if you're not happy doing this, obviously you could get somebody at Fiverr to just record a quick video. Again, it's just about kind of connecting with them. My personal strategy will be to have a little presentation and then just always re-record the start bit. And you get plenty of people on camera who will appear on Fiverr and just say, hey, I just wanted to address you because I know you've got a landscaping business, you're working in outer London, you might have seen your traffic fall. I just want to explain why and break down the specific issues with your website and what you need to do. And what I love about that is it's making it really targeted. I mean, if somebody sends you a video that's that targeted to what you're doing, and they're sending you a report which breaks down your specific website, and the email's talking about the type of business that you're in, it's really hard to see that as spam because you're delivering real value. You are giving them something that technically they could go, oh, I need to fix this, this, and this, and they could find somebody themselves. But I know from past experience, you're actually building up trust and authority there. And they'll go, okay, so how much is this going to cost me?
The
And
more
then you say,
specific you get, the better. Really, guys, the more specific you get with these, the less likely people are gonna say this is spam. And I like the point you made about you're giving them something, you're giving them that report, you're truly trying to help them, which is like I feel good about sending this kind of an email.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one thing I will point out, I mean, we've got this, we've got these keywords that you can put in your email, and obviously you can save it as a template. We've got the score here. I like this because let's say they look at it and they don't watch the YouTube video and they don't click on the report because they're a little bit unsure. Well, you're still saying, well, here's the specific score, and people love scores. They love to be tested. They love to be ranked. We all do. That's why all these things on BuzzFeed and all these tests and quizzes that get circulated on social media, that's why they do so well. And so somebody's going to look at their score and they're going to go, that's interesting. So I'm 72 out of 100 according to Google. That's such a compelling reason to click on the link, even if the promise of a video isn't, even if the business-specific talk isn't. There's a lot of curiosity going on here. They hit the report. There's an amazing amount of value for them there, which they can take forward. But of course, you've already built this trust and authority, and you're saying, hey, I know exactly what's wrong. It's not the end of the world. We can solve this for you. You know, there are 4 issues we need to solve here. We can have this sorted for you by the end of the week. And with Cloud Profit Machine, if you've got the professional or agency version, you're also getting the mobile builder as well, which you can actually literally say, here's their website, get the URL, and it will give you a number of templates. So I'll just actually quickly go over to that.
Okay, so the first software, the first part of this is you're able to go out there, you're able to find them, you're able to do the test, you're able to email them, and then people will respond back to you. And this software right here makes it so that if you don't know how to make a website mobile friendly, you can use this to provide the actual service that you're saying that you can provide. Because I know a lot of people out there could be saying, well, this is great, like now I can contact them, but I'm an idiot when it comes to technical stuff, which I personally am. I'm not a very technical person. So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean there, Mike. Some people will be really great at this and they'll be able to do it all of themselves and they wouldn't need a piece of software. A lot of people will want to do this just really quickly, get the issues sorted, because that's what the business owner wants at the end of the day. They want to focus on getting new clients. They want to focus on getting more people through the door and clicking on their website. They don't want to have to worry about this issue. So the quicker I think you can get it resolved again, the faster you're going to get the deal. And so, like I say, this comes with the professional and agency version. It makes it really easy. It's like I said, there's no cost for actually using this. It's included actually with it. And if you think about it, then Cloud Prospect Machine is giving you a way to find people who desperately need your help. And I mean, you can even see the ones that are suffering the most with the actual score, and then break it down into here's exactly what's wrong, make it feel really targeted to them. So, you know, they're not thinking it's spam. They're actually happy to receive it. You've built trust with them. And then it's very, very easy to actually sell. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, Mike, that there was a story on CNBC about a guy called... I was about
to ask you about it. The question I was going to ask you was, it's nice, like software like this comes out, and these methods, they're theoretical. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could go out there and we could help out people with this problem and make money from it? So tell me this story. I've seen the article already, but tell me a little bit about this.
So this was just a really sort of amazing story that I actually just found after talking to Todd, actually working with him, getting Cloud Prospect Machine built out of all these different components that I thought was so cool. You know, it's like, we know there's a big opportunity here to help people out, to deliver a really great ethical service. And then suddenly to actually be hit with it and actually to see a news article about this guy called Robert, and I forget his last name, but...
Bowick.
Yeah, that's it. He's a developer. I think he's a software developer. And what he did was he created a really sort of short, scary video, you know, Armageddon's coming type thing. Said, I can sort it for you. Quick explanation of Mobilegeddon. Manually emailed out all these people who he found manually, you know, did all this process manually, emailed them out and said, I can solve it for you, charged $399 a time. Now, you think about the amount of time it's taken him to narrow down those searches. then to actually, tell them what's wrong. I don't know how much detail he actually gave them, but what I can say is the level of detail we're providing is definitely going to make any sale much, much easier. And then he did the work, happy to do it for $399. People are happy to pay him for it. There's not a huge amount of people actually proactively going out there. Yet I know there are so many business owners. Look in forums, look on social media. There are people going, what am I supposed to do about this? There are some really crazy misconceptions about what mobile getting's about. Some people think that they're going to actually have to pay now to appear on mobile devices. All sorts of really, really just bizarre claims, misunderstandings. You know how fear kind of gets into an echo chamber almost, and people start exaggerating it. And I'm going to say you don't need to use any of those scare tactics. Just explain the problem in a really clear, easy way. Build up trust. They want the solution. It's not a hard sell at all. You don't need to call them up. You don't need to go for a meeting. That report does all of the selling for you.
If you were going to go do this personally and go out there and start running this kind of a business, what would your personal approach be? What kind of businesses would you target? How would you get that first sale to come in? Okay,
it's really important you brought that up, because this is something literally that I'm actually rolling out myself now, because it really is going to help consultancy-wise, because I've had these inquiries come in. But let's put those to the side, because obviously those inquiries from existing customers and people who know me, that's an easy win for me. And I've got the software to help out there. But let's say I was starting from scratch with no reputation. I would be looking at businesses that are really going to notice a difference in terms of footfall. In other words, people actually coming in. I think restaurants, I think bars. Okay, so this weekend I was actually out with my godchildren, and we went to a soft play area, with all of the sort of the slides and all of that kind of stuff. And they're wondering why, why is this mobile getting thing important to them? And I didn't try and sell them, but I'm thinking a lot of people, just as we did, we looked for soft play areas, activity centers on our iPhones. Oh, sorry, just going to close some stuff here. Sorry about that, Mike.
No worries.
So if I was going to do this without any of my existing clients, etc., I'd be looking for businesses with footfall, like soft play centers, because they rely on a lot of sort of footfall, just people coming in. We were driving around, we were looking for one, and you look on your software, it's like, oh, there's one within 5 miles. We'll go there, the kids can play, we can sit down, they'll have a great time. Of course, what happens is you end up running around the kids as well. You get exhausted and sweaty, and it doesn't really work out. But the point is those kind of businesses that it's like, we're in the area, we're looking for a restaurant, we're looking for a bar. Last minute check on the cell phone. There's no way you're going to be a desktop computer, is there? Those are the businesses I think that are going to be the easiest sell. I also think there are actually a lot of online businesses that I've noticed that are not prepared for this. So, for instance, I was looking at a business that actually sells online legal documents. And I kind of figured that, they're doing all of this stuff on social, they're focused there, but they probably are still going to notice an awful lot of stuff going on from mobile gaming, because there'll be people checking on tablets. It's not going to be so much the cell phone stuff there. People checking on tablets, looking through, because it's a quick purchase thing.
People forget the tablet stuff there as well.
Yeah.
Like, they think it's just people on their phones, but I mean, I've got my iPad every night before I go to bed. I'm on my iPad.
Yeah, same here. And it just occurred to me that if you're looking maybe for something, a quick solution that you need to buy, so let's say it's a legal service, it's an accountancy service, which could as well get walk-in traffic as well, walk-in footfall into their office, or a quick call. Somebody might just be searching on their tablet because it's a quick thing they need to solve. Case in point, my wife needed an office address for her new business. Okay, she's not doing it on her laptop when she gets back home from work. Actually, during her lunchtime, she's on her tablet, which she always has with her, just searching, where can I actually get an office address? Where can I actually get a lawyer to actually do all the legal documentation and get that set up? So again, the tablets are coming into play. When would she be using her laptop? Probably like most of us, when she's doing more in-depth stuff, like writing emails, like processing sales, when they're doing all the really sort of activity-based stuff that requires, them to be a little more in-depth. And so I think tablets, you're looking at the sort of the online business, and also things like accountants, legal services, maybe also, things like doctors as well, where you might actually be booking online, maybe to get an appointment. But then you've got the walk-in stuff. I deal with a couple of golf stores, and I tell you, they're going to be hit by this because people playing at the local golf course, they need something straight on the cell phone.
Oh yeah, because they're out on the course.
Exactly,
there. They're not out there on their laptops. They're out there on their phones.
Yeah, there's a reason that golf store is so near the golf course. It's because if somebody needs to pick something up because they're going there to play, and they need, maybe a new set of clubs, they need balls, they need gloves, something else. Well, guess what? If you're falling down in those search rankings, they're going to go, oh, there's nowhere nearby. I'll just go onto Amazon and order it and have to wait a couple of days.
I feel like, I mean, we've named a few businesses that can use this. I feel like there's no business that doesn't need this type of thing. Like every single business out there is going to be affected in some way by this. Yeah. Of course, some more than others, but it's going to be something that it's going to be in some way, shape, or form. Whether if you're optimized, some people are going to get a happy surprise, Steve. Some people are going to be they've got a mobile optimized theme already. They're already ready for it, and they're going to see a boost. They're not going to know why. They're just going to enjoy the extra business and keep on going along with their day and think that they're doing something a lot better. But then there are other businesses as well, of course, that are going to suffer.
It's interesting you bring that up because, again, another sort of article I read, and I want to say this was wasn't CNBC, it was either CNN or the Financial Times, was basically saying that about 40% of major companies are going to be affected. So it's, there's big business as well. Now, I'm not suggesting that anybody go out there and try and target some sort of Fortune 500 company, but a lot of people on page one, a significant amount. It'll vary by niche, obviously. Maybe it'll be 20% here, 30% in another niche. But, a lot of people are going to be affected. And it is those people who've got that free traffic on page one. They're really going to notice it when it goes. Really notice it.
Tell me about the different offers on the sales page. I know there are 3 versions. You've already kind of alluded to them, but I want to be clear as to what they are.
Well, when Todd was actually bringing this to me, he's like, this is going to be a monthly service. And I was like, okay, I could really use this. Can I help you put together a package of all these little different elements in the control panel? And I soon realized from past experience, I know myself, I pay for things like lead pages monthly. I hate doing it. And one of the things I hate even more is when there's been a special offer on and I've missed it. Where it was like a one-off payment. I end up paying monthly. That always happens to me. And so I said, look, Todd, I understand this is a software as a service. It's not a plugin. But can we make it so that it's unlimited access for people? So there's no monthly fees. There's no, oh, you're going to be grandfathered in at this price. It's just that you pay. And then basically, the people who come after the launch, they pay monthly, and that covers the server costs and all that technical stuff. So after sort of a little bit of toing and froing, just kind of explaining the maths and saying, it'll be all right, it'll generate some buzz. Todd agreed to that. But because of that, we decided to separate it out into 3 different licenses because some people are already, like myself, they're running a local consultancy, they've got a few staff, and they need something a little bit more. So for those people, we have the agency license. That's including the mobile builder. You're also getting 3 extra accounts, so you can have staff logging in, and you can literally have them doing the work for you. You can outsource this. You could do it yourself if you've got in-staff office. And then, of course, there are the people who are doing it professionally, but they're on their own. Or maybe they only need occasional help. So then we've got the Cloud Profit Machine, including the mobile builder for them. Then we've got the people who, they're on a budget. Maybe they've not done this before, but they're hearing from their friends. They're hearing from people online. I need help with this. And they want to get involved, but they want to reduce the cost as much as possible. We've got the starter edition for them. That doesn't include the mobile builder. They could then choose to outsource the work, get somebody to do it on Fiverr or on Odesk, which is my personal favorite, or they could choose to do it themselves if they've got web skills. So if you've got all the skills or you're happy to outsource, I'd say starters for you. If you want a complete end-to-end solution, go for professional. And if you've got staff, make your life easier. Get them accounts as well so they can be doing the work for you. And you could, triple maybe the amount of prospects you can get a day or a week.
You could go and outsource. You could outsource the prospect finding. You could have someone going in there and finding people, sending out the emails, and having those emails coming back in. And you could outsource the building of the mobile websites as well. You could just be kind of the manager in between, making sure that everything's going smoothly with your business. Very, very cool. Okay, so the one-time offers, what should people be expected for there?
Okay, so we've got two one-time offers, very, very different. The first one-time offer includes a load of extra templates written by myself. So, like I say, you've got 5 when you actually get started with the system that cover most of the basic options. But from my own experience in dealing with different types of businesses, I've broken it down so you're getting 20. And then all you need to do is customize it for the region. So you just put in London, in Paris, or wherever. What I've done is I've also broken it down into one's a very soft approach and one's a little bit more focusing on the fear. So for people who've got a really bad mobile score, you might want to send one type of template. For people who, they're suffering, but it's not going to take as much work to do, perhaps change your approach. And so this is what I was talking about being really focused. Next, we've got a Facebook group where obviously people can actually gather, talk, and swap tips. There's a strategy that I really, really recommend. Okay, Mike, so you're in Turkey, is that correct? Yeah. Let's say I'm in the UK, or perhaps I'm in Central Europe, and somehow I get talking to somebody online, as you can all over the world, and they go, hey, you know what, I really, really need help with this, and so do a load of other business owners, but they're not really in my region. I could then pass the deal to you and say, my friend Mike actually can really help you out, because even though we're on the web, having that proximity actually helps a little bit with the sale as well. So one of the things I've done with other local marketers for quite a few years is make recommendations. You get a commission. So what else I'm doing is I'm giving you a video which talks about things like that, how to set up those deals, how to negotiate on price. Sometimes you get a business owner who'll try and negotiate you down. I'll talk about some of the tactics to actually deal with that as well. People who are difficult payers. I hate to bring that up, but occasionally you get people who don't want to pay. Now, I'd always recommend getting the payment up front, but let's say you get somebody who says, I want you to do another website for me, but at half price. I show you exactly the ways to deal with that. So basically, this is like an hour-and-a-half video, which covers a lot of my experience over the past 5-10 years. Common problems you might encounter. Somebody comes back and they say, hey, I'd like some banners creating. I'd like some printed materials doing. This happened to me many years ago. Can you include it in the price? I show you exactly what to say so you don't offend them, you don't lose the deal, but you don't get into a situation where then you start doing work for free.
Because one of the worst things you can do is start competing with people on price. And if you start bringing your prices way, way down, and you're not going to have any wiggle room, if someone does come at you and ask for some extras, like some extra banners, and your profit margins are so slim that you're barely scraping by, adding something like that in is going to be impossible. But if you're making a good amount of money from it and you want to make that good impression, and it's not going to break the bank to do it, then you can provide that extra service, and it's not going to kill you. Cool. I'm glad that you include that in there. I'm sure even veteran people could learn something from it.
We've got one more thing in OTO1, which is also we've got live training, which is actually almost precisely 2 weeks from now. So just waiting for everybody to get used to the software, then giving them an extra level of training, showing some more advanced strategies in terms of using the YouTube stuff, customizing it. Of course, it won't be something for everybody. Some people be very budget conscious. They want to just get started. It's giving them time to get results in. But like I say, for those people who are ready to go full steam ahead, the live training is really helpful. OTO2 is actually more software, and there was just no way for the price point we could include this with the standard software. So I had Mike split it out to lower the cost of those front ends. We're talking about two very powerful pieces of software. I don't know if you just want me to talk about them or actually demonstrate them at this point.
If you want to show it really quick, I don't know how time consuming it's going to be. Did you want to show it really quickly?
Yeah. I'll just really quickly just kind of run people
Go for it.
Actually through it, because I was really, really excited about this stuff. So can you see the screen now? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what we've got is we've got two different things. We've got the Yellow Pages lead finder. And I'll just wait for this to load up. Here's what I like about the Yellow Pages lead finder. It finds people using the Yellow Pages API who are actually already listed. So we know that they're paying for advertising, which means we know they believe in marketing. They've got a regular spend. And what you can do is you can say, I'm looking for lawyers in New York. Or you can actually specify a zip code. Okay, and then you can say, within 1 mile, within 3 miles. So you can say, hey, I know that you're operating in downtown New York. You're operating just outside of London. I've seen your Yellow Pages advert. It's great, but have you considered A, B, and C about your mobile traffic, because you might be ignoring it? Now, I'll just see if I can do a quick search here. I'll put lawyer London, and we'll do a search.
A lot of time on the show, we talk about building a buyer's list or having a list of people that have bought something before. And the power behind that is that they've taken out their credit card and they've paid for something. So they have a history of paying, and it makes it more likely that they're going to buy more things in the future. With this right here, these people are already paying money to have their listing in here, so they know the value of paying for marketing. Exactly. And they're going to be so much more willing, whether you are just going to offer them the mobile website, whether you've got other services in the future that you can offer for them. If maybe you know Facebook ads, maybe you know how to do Google Places listings, I don't know, but this is where people that are already spending money, these are the buyers, and where you can find them.
So I've done a search here and I made a really dumb mistake. I put London but set it to country United States. So
I think there are some London, London, Kentucky.
Yeah, so a bit of a stupid mistake there, but you know what? The results are just as valid. And what we can instantly see is we can see that they've not claimed an online presence with YP, which is the website version of Yellow Pages. As usual, we can kind of tick. We've got the contact details, including phone numbers here. So we've got that extra layer if we want it. And then we can analyze the selected ones with local listings. And just leave that kind of chugging away in the background. But what's really useful about this, it's actually then telling you with the second piece of software that they're not listed on Yellow Pages, they're not listed on Foursquare, Yahoo, Bing. So you've then got something extra, say something, look, whilst I'm sorting out mobile Gathering, why don't we get you not just back to where you were, but get you extra traffic, get you that Facebook profile, get you the Bing business listing, the Yahoo business listing, get you on Yelp, because that's going to actually take you beyond where you were. So you're not just fixing a problem now, you're actually doing something that's going to really excite them. And you can actually do a direct search as well in the local listing tool. So you've got the Yellow Pages lead finder, get extra contact details if you want them. Also, like I say, you can say, hey, you haven't claimed your Yellow Pages profile. You know that they're spending on marketing. So you know somebody who's got a desperate problem, you know that they spend money on marketing, and then you've got extra services that are very simple for you to do that's going to bring you in extra cash, and it's going to be a very easy sell on top of offering them the solution to their mobile gathering problem.
Very cool, very cool. You're getting your foot in the door, and that's the most important thing, is just to get your foot in the door, to make that initial contact with them. And maybe it's surprising. This might be the first thing that you do, is you help them with their mobile site, but then once they know, like, and trust you, they know that you can actually fix things for them when they have something in the future. Maybe they want their website redesigned, or they want you to do some other service for them. They want logos done. Even if you don't know how to do that, you can find other people and you can pay for them you can outsource that kind of stuff as well. And a lot of people that are watching this show, you know a lot more than most local businesses do about what is actually going on with website design and pop-ups and lead generation and email autoresponders and all that stuff. That's magic to them, and you can be a magician in their business there. Steve, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing all this with us today. Is there anything else, anything you wanted to mention, anything we missed before we wrap it up?
There is one thing, and that is we've got a $20 off every item in the funnel coupon for anybody who's actually interested in going ahead with this. This is exclusive to you. I'm not actually sure of what the coupon is right now, but I'll get that over to you. And like I said, that's applicable at every level in the funnel. So if you just want the front end, just use it on the front end. If you think I'd like the live training as well, you can use the same coupon, get another $20 off. Now, this is only going to be working for the first few hours, okay, first 3 hours, because just literally the level of the discount, everybody who's watching this is going to be way more aware of it than everybody else. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an early bird advantage there.
Thanks for that. And what I'll do, guys, I'll put that right above the interview for you to grab, and make sure you use that at checkout. There should be a spot in there for those discount codes. Steve, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and best of luck with your launch.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's been a genuine pleasure to talk over this stuff with you. I love talking about local business.
I hope you enjoyed the interview today with Steve. If you are interested in picking up Cloud Prospect Machine, come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to have a coupon code for you on MikeFromMaine.com. You're going to want to grab that, use it at checkout, and you're going to be able to get $20 off the price of the front-end products, so the product on the sales page, $20 off the one-time offers if you decide to buy those. It's a huge discount that I'm going to be able to get for you with my discount code. Plus, when you send over your PayPal receipt, I'll have my special bonuses for you as well. And also, right underneath this interview, you're going to see another video. That's the sales video, and I really want you to watch that. It was very well done, and it explains exactly what this whole mobile getting thing is all about. So go ahead, watch that video, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern sharp. Thanks.